This historic act is the world's first comprehensive declaration of equality for people with disabilities. The first. I now lift my pen to sign this Americans with Disability Act and say, let the shameful wall of exclusion finally come tumbling down.
Good evening. My name is Samuel Capozzi, and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to speak to you. Yes, indeed, let the shameful walls of exclusion finally come tumbling down. I'm here this evening to tell you about 5 things I've accomplished because of the Americans with Disabilities Act, otherwise known as the ADA. These are things that a non-speaking, non-writing autistic young man like me wouldn't have dared to dream not so long ago. Although I realize I am speaking to the choir here about inclusion, I hope to broaden your perspective even more. As respite providers and families of individuals with disabilities, I believe it's not only important to presume competence with those in your care, but to also take full advantage of the barriers that have already been broken. I have both researched and, more importantly, lived what it means to have a disability in America. Yes, it's been a challenge, yet I am grateful to the many forerunners that paved the way with blood, sweat, and tears to ensure the legislation for the ADA was passed into law in 1990 and subsequently enacted throughout our country. This evening I will begin with defining what the ADA is, how it's impacted my life, and why it's important for the future of an equitable society. To begin, this is a basic definition of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The ADA is a civil rights law that prohibits discrimination against individuals with disabilities in all areas of public life, including jobs, schools, transportation, and all public and private places that are open to the general public. The purpose of the law is to make sure that people with disabilities have the same rights and opportunities as everyone else. The ADA gives civil rights protections to individuals with disabilities similar to those provided to individuals on the basis of race, color, sex, national origin, age, and religion. It guarantees equal opportunity for individuals with disabilities in public accommodations, employment, transportation, state and local government services, and telecommunications. Now, the fun part. I want to tell you what I have done because of the ADA. If you haven't noticed, I am non-speaking. Generally, this is problematic in all areas of life. It certainly was for me and still is. However, upon my communication breakthrough at 16 years of age, I expressed my desire to be a university-bound student. The first thing I've done because of the ADA legislation, I had a great education fully included in my small private school. I managed to not only make up for lost time, but I graduated with honors too. The second thing I did because of the ADA laws, I was permitted to take the National Latin exam with my peers and with accommodations. I scored maxima cum laude twice.
Wow.
The third thing I've done because of the ADA, I was permitted to take the SAT test with many accommodations, including some that the College Board had probably never heard of. I sat for the SAT for over 6 hours, and I scored well. This was a huge undertaking, but it was only possible because of the ADA. The fourth thing I have done because of the ADA, I am fully included on my university's campus with many vital accommodations. College disability resource programs are a result of the ADA to ensure that higher education is accessible to individuals with disabilities. I can't say enough about Cal State Channel Islands Disability Resource Program. I have many accommodations, including a note taker, audiobooks, a scribe, extra time on my exams, a quiet room for exams, and breaks as necessary. And finally, the fifth thing I've done because of the ADA, I have hoped to pursue my dreams, goals, and passion. I aspire to study law, and even if I am, again, their first non-speaking, non-writing student to darken their doors, the ADA will be on my side, among other things, to open once closed doors to someone like me. A huge win for me. A huge win for society. Why do I share my success with accessibility? Because my success is our society's success as well, especially my misunderstood and marginalized disabled peers. As we seek to have a more equitable society, it's vital to not only look to what is lacking, but also to how far we've come. I'm proud and honored to walk the halls of my university, a facility that used to be a psychiatric hospital. At one time, someone like me would have been on the same grounds, but for a very different reason and with a very different experience. Yes, I understand our need to make even greater strides when it comes to inclusion, accessibility, and presuming competence. However, I would be remiss to neglect observing the important strides that have been made. Nonetheless, it is my passion to demonstrate to my community, and anywhere else I can, that you never really know what is going on inside a person's mind, heart, and soul. My challenge for you this evening is to consider where our society was before laws like the ADA, where we're at currently, and where we need to be in the future in respect to equal opportunities for people of all abilities. As with many acts, such as the ADA, they come under threat in the political arena. We need to fight for it. Fight to keep it from being disassembled and not properly enacted under the guise of budget restraints or otherwise. What have you done because of the ADA? What would you like to be because of the ADA? What has the act meant to your loved one with a disability? Most importantly, what should your loved one hope to do in light of the ADA? It is my hope that you are more aware of the Americans with Disabilities Act and all that it means to our society, how it has impacted one young man's life in our community, and the importance it has to ensuring a more equitable society. My purpose today was to tell you about 5 things I have done because of the ADA and the life-changing impact of it. Thank you for listening to me and allowing me to get up on my soapbox and bend your ear. A huge thank you to Tim and Sharon Francis and the Channel Islands Social Services family for continually being champions in my corner. Good night.